I'm Andy Newell, Managing Director of Iris Connect, and as so many thousands of you have had to say in the last couple of weeks, welcome to my house. I just thought I'd spend a little bit of time talking to you today about what we're doing at Iris Connect in order to try and help you address some of these challenges that you're facing at the moment. So I think it's pretty clear that we're not dealing with a short-term interruption to business as usual. I think that it's likely that the disruption that the education system is facing will last a fair amount of time, and even when schools do go back, you face the prospect of having to close again at short notice. So in that context, it's logical that lots of school leaders are now saying, okay, we've deployed e-learning or distance learning. Now, how do we get good at it? And I would say the only way that we really get good at it is together. And so that's really where we've focused our time and our energy at Iris Connect, is to help you solve that problem, how to harness the collective capacity of your teachers to start getting good at this. So with that in mind, there's two different sorts of work we've been doing. Number one is adaptations to the platform that allow us to capture practice wherever it's happening, whether that be in classrooms or online. And then in addition to that, that allow teachers to communicate, collaborate, plan together when they're not in the same place. And we see those two things as being really at the forefront of our approach to supporting schools make this shift. In addition to that, we've also got materials that we're developing on platform which support us to think about this in a change management context, that support teachers with the skills, knowledge and information they need in order to be able to thrive in this context. And then finally, collaborative learning opportunities that pull teachers together from within a school but also between schools to help us answer this really important question of how do we adapt and refine our online teaching practices. So without further ado, let's have a look at one of the first features in there, which is our screen capture capability.
Obviously, if I go to my Reflections tab, you'll see that these are all the videos that previously might have been uploaded from my Discovery kit of classroom practice. But actually what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at practice that's not happening in the classroom, it's happening on my computer. So what we're going to do is click on Screen Capture or Desktop Upload, and then we're going to click on Create. And then once that's here, you'll see it's created a new reflection, but you can see that this particular reflection is blank. So we're going to want to capture some video into it. Click on Screen Capture, choose recording quality and what you're going to record audio-wise, and then click on Start Recording. It'll then ask you which screen you want to record, and we'll go ahead and start recording. Obviously, you're seeing now that the screen's being recorded, and what we can now do is go out into any environment that we might be operating in. You can see here, for example, that I might be operating in a Zoom environment and interacting synchronously with my learners, or equally we could also be in a asynchronous environment such as Google Classroom. And once we're in here, I can voice over the things that I'm doing, why I'm setting particular tasks in a particular way, how I'm analyzing the feedback and the content that's coming back from my learners, my strategy, etc. And all of that can then, once I've gone back to my Iris Connect page, click on Stop, be uploaded directly into the Iris Connect platform. This is much preferable to using, for example, the in-app software associated with the video conferencing solutions, because firstly, it does not download locally and therefore potentially create a security risk with files on a local device. And equally, it does not record up into the main cloud storage of the video conferencing application, which, as we all know, is accessible by all administrators of that account. I think it's still really important when we're talking about classroom or non-classroom practice in this case to remember that we need to put the teacher at the center of that decision-making process. As you can see now, that video of my screen capture has now been recorded securely and simply into my Iris Connect reflection. Once it's in here, I can do all the same things that I used to be able to do. I can make time link notes. And I can use that either to explain what I'm doing to others in a way that they can quickly and easily navigate the video with, or I could use it if I potentially have shared the video. So in this case, I might share this with my coach or with someone that I'm looking to work with, and then they would be able to use exactly the same features to provide me with time-linked, highly specified feedback that will be most actionable and useful. So as you can see, there's all of the same capabilities in here, including sharing the content to groups. And this, I think, is a key when we look at some of the challenges that schools are facing at this precise moment in time. If you are working with a particular VLE and there's a group of staff who have a good understanding of how to use that VLE and staff that need more support, then go ahead and create a group on the Iris Connect platform. And what we can do is we can record annotated and voiceover videos explaining step by step how to use the different features and functions of the platform, share it to that group, and then anyone in my organization will be able to search the content in that group and find content that's directly helpful to them at that precise moment in time. So as we can see, Iris Connect is still functional. It's still a space that we can use to reflect on, analyze, share our practice, and develop other teachers.
Okay, so that is how we've addressed the challenge of supporting teachers to reflect on their practice when it's not necessarily happening in classrooms. And now the question is, how do we support teachers to talk about that practice? And to do that, we've enabled a video conferencing feature on the system. Now, obviously, video conferencing has been around for a while and there are lots of apps that do it, but what we've done is integrated it deeply into the Iris Connect platform, so it's quick, easy, and available at the click of a button.
Okay, so this is an introduction to the conferencing features on Iris Connect. What we do is click on reflections, and this is the practice that we may wish to discuss. I click on the video, and what I'm going to do is click on create conference underneath the video. So what this does is creates a unique code that I can send to a colleague quickly and easily, and then we can join the conference. So once we join the conference, it's going to do a little microphone test. There we go. And here we are. I can enable my webcam like so. And here I am in the conference call. I'm just waiting for my colleague to join us. And while I'm doing that, I will talk you through some of the other features and tools within the interface. Here's Simeon. Hi, Sim. Uh, So what I'm going to do is just introduce some of the other features that we have within here. First of all, we've got chat features that you have in most conferencing environments. There we go. In addition to that, we can create little breakout rooms. So this would allow me to have a large group of teachers together to talk about the overarching theme, and then create a breakout room where different teachers could go to discuss different aspects of what we're talking about. We've also got screen sharing, so I can share my screen and we've got something that everyone can see and discuss. We can share videos in here with everybody able to hear those videos. And then I think probably one of the key tools in here that really sets it apart as a tool for education is we've got a whiteboarding tool. And what that will allow us to do is to load up a presentation. So any PowerPoint presentation can come into this space. Once it's in here, I have the ability to draw over and annotate different aspects of what's in the presentation, and all participants within the conference call itself will be able to see that, and I'll be able to guide their attention to different aspects of my presentation. But the thing that really pulls it together to be effective within a professional learning environment is the fact that when I start recording up here, everything that's being recorded within this conferencing environment is actually being recorded directly back into my Iris Connect library. So I'm going to say goodbye to Sim. Thank you, Sim. And then come back out, end my meeting, and you'll see that when I've ended this meeting, I'm back in the Iris Connect environment and the recording of that session appears underneath the practice that we were talking about. So that's a really holistic way of us being able to record what we were talking about and the discussion that happened, and also to create a really valuable reusable learning resource for professional development purposes that we can share with others. So that is the conferencing tool integrated on Iris Connect.